What's good? What's good? What's good, baby? It's your boy Trex, the sports junkie, and I want to welcome y'all to MBS Stardom Sitem Fantasy Football Show. We're going to give you all your latest and greatest updates when it comes to fantasy football. I am a fantasy football guru and legend. Y'all see the championship belt back there. Shout out to Kaepernick, man. Got the jersey back there. I'm still with Cap. Y'all already know what the vibes are like. But, of course, I got the homie in the building. My guy from the Bay Area, he needs to take off that damn gear. Kia, what up?
I can't wait to say this after Monday night. How about them Cowboys?
Chill out, man. Chill out, man. Hey, I'm not gonna lie. Look, I'm not a fan of the Cowboys, but that hat is fire. That is fire. I gotta be honest. I like the logo with the helmet on the other side. That's dope. That's dope. Well, this is basically how this show works. We basically help you with your lineups today. If you have questions, reach out to us in the comment section. We also will be looking at other social media platforms, and we'll be answering questions. Basically, start them or sit them. Who should you start? Who should you sit? We're going to tell you who to do that. We'll also go through each position and tell you our top fives. Now, one thing about our top fives are we don't put the elite guys. We know who's elite. You know, we're not going to say, oh, you should start Patrick Mahomes. We know you should start Patrick Mahomes week in and week out. That's not no, major news. So we're going to give you our top fives at every position, including kicker. So for anybody out there that doesn't take kicker serious, we do. We're fantasy gurus. And we'll help you with the waiver wire pickups. We'll also have a segment called Start 'em or Sit 'em, where Keo will throw out 5 names, and I'll tell him whether he should start him or sit him. And then I'll throw out 5 names, and he'll tell you if you should start him or sit him. And then lastly, at the end of the show, everybody's favorite segment from last year, we will give you our sleeper of the week, our bust of the week, and our stud of the week. So with that being said, Keo, let's get to our top 5 fantasy quarterbacks on the day. Who you got?
Number 5, outside of all the elite players, Mahomes played already, Watson played, Lamar Jackson, I'm not gonna put him in there, but starting off at number 5, I'm going with True's team. Well, one of his surprise teams for this year in the AFC. I'm going with Phillip Rivers at number 5. I think he'll start off the season playing well. He's going against the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Duval.
Phillip Rivers has had at least 23 points or more fantasy points in 3 consecutive season openers. So that's huge for fantasy owners. I don't think that's gonna change with the new team that he's on. He's gonna be facing the Jaguars, that another team True that is really high on. But that defense needs help, man. And I like the weapons that the Colts have around them. I'm not sure about Paris Campbell. I like Michael Pittman Jr. T.Y. Hilton, you're gonna get numbers from him. Jack Doyle should be huge, because Phillip Rivers loves him some tight ends. And then you got Marlon Mack in the backfield also, alongside with the rookie Jonathan Taylor and that beast of an offensive line. So I got him coming at number 5. Number 4, I am going with Carson Wentz at number 4, man. With Miles Sanders being out, I think this opens up the passing game, man. So you'll see Carson Wentz looking to open up that passing game early. So I got at number 4. Number 3, this may be a huge surprise for people, but number 3, I got Cam Newton at number 3, man. I think Cam Newton's ready. I think he's going to show people that he's back and he's still that Cam Newton. You know, um, the Dolphins defense did improve, but I like, the dual threat of the style of Cam Newton. And I think Josh McDaniels is looking to push um Newton's first game and put a lot of points up. So especially against their former Patriots defensive coordinator Brian Flores, man. So I got Cam Newton at coming at number 3. Number 2, I'm going with Big Ben Roethlisberger in the Monday night game. Big Ben is back. I like the weapons around him. Um, the Giants are one of 8 teams to allow 30 touchdowns from last year, and this secondary is horrendous. They're still in the process of rebuilding. I think Big Ben could possibly have a top five performances out of all the quarterbacks. Top 10 at worst. So I got him at number 2. And my number 1 guy at number 1, I'm going with Matty Ice, Matt Ryan, Atlanta Falcons, man. He's at home going against the Seattle Seahawks. People expect big things from Calvin Ridley. Julio Jones, he's talking about he needs to get in the end zone more. And man, I like this guy, man. This guy is one of my favorite players in the NFL as we speak since 2 weeks ago. And I'm talking about Todd Gurley, man. Todd Gurley. I think he's going to have a huge season. I think he's still that running back. He was able to do the damage he was able to do last year despite being injured. So I think, I'm not going to penalize him for that. So, and I actually got him in the NBS Fantasy League, and I'm really trying to hold on to not trading Todd Gurley, but people keep pushing me. You know who you are.
Yeah, hook that
You know who
up.
you know who
Woo-hoo.
you are. You know what my price is. But with that being said, I'm gonna pass it on to the sports junkie.
Okay, so I'm always gonna try to put 5 guys out there that you're gonna start no matter what. So the quarterback position, and we'll never mention the Thursday night games on this show. So let me just put the 5 guys out there that you're gonna start pretty much every week. That's Mahomes, Jackson, Wilson, Watson. And for this week, I'll say Dak. I think Dak Prescott, with all his weapons, I'll say he should be a must start this week and maybe in the future. We'll see how he plays today. So with that, my number 5 guy, he got a great matchup. He is on a lot of people's radar as a breakout player this year. Last year had a pretty good year, but this year he could have even a bigger fantasy year. I'm going Josh Allen versus the New York Jets. I think the Jets letting go of Jamal Adams, that secondary may be, very vulnerable, I'll say, nicely. They'll be very vulnerable. You get Stephon Diggs. I think Josh Allen is due for a big, big game today. Coming at number 4, I got what Keo said is high up there, baby. Matty Ice versus Seattle. I can see a shootout in this game. This game may be the second highest scoring game of the weekend. So I got Matt Ryan with all his weapons, Calvin Ridley, Julio Jones, Todd Gurley, Gage, and company. I think this could be a big shootout. So I'm going Matt Ryan at number 4. Coming in number 3, I got my quarterback in the MBS league. And I'm not just saying it because I'm having my league, but I'm going Carson Wentz. He gets the Washington Redskins. Now I know their front 4 is tough. I know Payne, you got Payne, Kerrigan, all those guys, and then they just added. Why I can't think of my man's name? The rookie. What's his name? Keo? Chase Young. Chase Young's his name,
Yeah,
right?
Chase Young.
I'm having a brain fart.
Yeah.
Chase Young. Yeah, he
Chase
just added Chase Young. I think they do have a front 4, but I think Philly with that 2 tight end set of Goddard and Zach Ertz is going to be tough to overcome. I like Carson Wentz a lot today. But my top 2 guys, and I know some people may consider them elite. I don't consider either guy elite, but this matchup is elite. I'm going Drew Brees, Tom Brady, 1 and 2. You have to start them this week. This could be a big shootout. You could have 30 points for both teams. You could have 40 points for both teams. That's how much I think this is a shootout. Those 2 guys are my must starts of the week. as far as at the quarterback position. Keo, let's move on to maybe your team may have one of the best running backs in football. I'm talking about the running back position.
Okay, the running back position, I got it like this. So obviously, I'm not gonna mention Zeke. I'm not gonna mention Alvin Kamara, so guys like that. So I'm gonna go at starting at number 5 for me. A lot of people like Devin Singletary. I'm going with Zach Moss at number
What?
5.
What?
Yeah, man. I think Zach Moss. I think
Wow.
I think that as far as PPR situations goes, I think Zach Moss is. I think you got to start him, man. As far as a running back two or a flex, I'm definitely start him. I most left. I'm most definitely starting with over Devin Singletary, so I got him at number 5.
Wow.
Number 4, man. Number 4. I am going with. So you said Cam. I said Cam Newton's gonna have a huge game. So at number 4, I am rolling with James White at number 4.
Wow.
I think last time I checked, Damian Harris is on the injured reserve. Um, I think from reports, Sony Michelle will be limited in snaps, and I think they're gonna go off of James White. Man, you look at New England's offense; they don't have much weapons there besides Edelman, and I think the guy's Cam's security blanket could be James White, and I expect him to be huge, especially a game against Miami. Number 3, I know people like David Montgomery for the Bears, but I'm going with Tariq Cohen, man, against the Detroit
Wow.
Lions. Um, he David Montgomery just came back from a groin injury, man, and a lot of people will be like, oh, okay, he's fine, he's okay, but man, the groin injury is a major injury, so you don't know how healthy and how limited he could be during the game. So I'm rolling with Tariq Cohen. As far as PPR standards goes, that's the guy you would go to. And going in at number 2, I'm going with Marlon Mack at number 2. I think Marlon Mack. There's been speculation of who's going to be the starter, Mack or Taylor, but I think Mack is the starter. The Colts have reported that it is Mack. I think Mack he could run off the backfield. He could give you those PPR type of points, and he could give you big gains and give you a couple touchdowns. I expect him to get like 12 to 14 points um today. So Marlon Mack at number 2. And coming in at number 1, I got Raheem Mostert at number 1.
Wow.
I expect a huge game from him. I expect maybe 17 to 22 points from him against uh, the Arizona Cardinals. I know they improved on their defense with the Cardinals, but the Niners is gonna run the rock and they're gonna feed Mostert the ball. And I think Mostert will have a huge game, and he's gonna continue where he left off, going towards the end of the season, the postseason last season. So that rounds up my running backs, my top 5 running backs.
Oh wow. Okay, okay. I can't be mad at that, man. Me and Keo see things completely different. So I don't want to confuse you guys, but I just want to throw this out there. When I get to my list, I don't have the guys that I like better on this running back list, but I like Michelle more than I like James White. I like Singletary more than I like Zach Moss. So me and Keo are on two different ends of the spectrum when it comes to that. Okay, the elite guys that you're not gonna hear me say is C-Mac, Barkley, Zeke, Cook, and Kamara. Those guys are off the list. We start those guys no matter what. Okay, so coming in number 5, Keo mentioned them, the guy that everybody wants from him, and that is Todd Gurley. In this matchup versus Seattle, Seattle's going to have to try to stop Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley in that passing offense. I think Todd Gurley could have a break. He could be the breakout star of fantasy this year. we can see Todd Gurley return to his old ways. I could definitely see it this upcoming season. So I got Todd Gurley coming in at number 5 and look for him to have a really good game on today. Coming in at number 4 for me, I got Joe Mixon. He's going against the Chargers. I think the Chargers, even though their defense is good, I think this is a team that's going to struggle this year. I know they got Tyrod Taylor, they got Justin Herbert. I'm just not sold on them. Maybe I have to see a little bit. If they play defense well and they run the football well with Austin Eckler, then maybe I'll change my mind. But as of now, I'm not big on the Chargers. I think by week 6 or 7, we could see Justin Herbert in at quarterback. But I'm going to go with the Mixon versus the Chargers this week. Coming in number 3, I'm going to stay in that same game because they have to run the football. I'm going Austin Eckler. He'll be a really good PPR guy, catching the ball in the backfield. I don't know if he's going to be as good as he's been in the past because Phillip Rivers really likes to throw to his running back, and Tyrod Taylor's not Phillip Rivers. So I'm going to put him in this list this week because Cincinnati's defense is not the greatest, but I do like Austin Eckler in my top 5. Coming in number 2 is going to be a surprise because if you know me, you know how I feel about the Niners defense this upcoming season. I got Kenyon Drake. I think Drake is going to have a really good game today, and I think he's going to have a phenomenal year. I drafted him in the MBS League. I had my eyes set on him after I seen what happened when he got traded to the Arizona Cardinals. I think he fits this scheme perfectly. He can run out the backfield. He can catch out the backfield. Him and Kyler Murray seemed to really click the last couple of weeks in the NFL season last year. So I love Kenyon Drake. And he had a really big game against the 49ers last season. So I think that continues this week. But my number 1 guy is out there in the Bay Area with Keo. And I'm talking, well, he's not out there right now, but I'm talking about my guy, Josh Jacobs, going up against Carolina. Carolina, I don't know where to put my finger on them yet. Yeah, they drafted Derrick Brown in the first round with their first pick, but I still think that there's still a couple of players away on that defense to become an elite defense like they were in the past. Luke Kuechly retired. We already know that. I'm going Josh Jacobs as the number 1 fantasy running back on today. And Josh Jacobs will be up there with the elite guys as far as his numbers on today. So, yeah, that's who I'm going with, number 1. Let's get to wide receivers, Keo.
Oh, you're gonna like this one. Um, Number 5, I'm going with DJ Chark at number 5, man.
Yeah.
um, um, uh, he's one of my favorite fantasy receivers this year. That's why I was actually trying to get him in a trade from True a couple days ago. I think he's gonna have a lot of targets. Um, I think um, I think they're gonna be playing from behind, and then I think Gardner Minshew is gonna be looking for him a lot in this game. So I expect DJ Chark to have a huge game, man. Against the Colts last year, Chark had 8 catches for 104 yards, 2 touchdowns on 15 targets, man. Um, and I think it would be great if he had a repeat game of this. But he only did have 4 catches for 34 yards on 5 targets in week 17. But I think whoever has DJ Chark, start him. I am confident this week. I got him at number 5. Um, number number 4, number 4. I'm going with Henry Ruggs at number 4.
Wow.
I think it's a great matchup for him for a lot of fantasy owners. I do like Renfro, Brian Edwards as sleepers as well, but I think it's going to be a huge game for him, and it's going to be a coming out party for him at number 4. Um, Number 3, I'm sticking with the same game, and I'm rolling with T.Y. Hilton at number 3. Um, I think T.Y. Hilton had a very underrated year because he missed 6 games with a calf injury, but Hilton should be favorable in this matchup um against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Like I said, we all know about that defense and I think he's going to get a lot of opportunities from Phillip Rivers. And I would be surprised if T.Y. Hilton didn't get a touchdown. Um, I think each of his past two season openers, he's at least scored one touchdown. So that's good for fantasy owners. So I got him at number 3. Number 2, man. I'm not a huge fan of this guy. I'm not a huge fan of this team in general, but I gotta keep it 1,000 with you with this one. And I'm going with Stephon Diggs at number 2 against the New York Football Jets. I think he'll have a big week. I think he'll have a better game than even his teammate John Brown, and I expect Diggs to get a lot of targets in this matchup against the Jets. Um, the Jets, they've allowed one of s- uh, one of 17 to allow at least 20 touchdowns to receivers, and Diggs should make a splash and a great debut right away in this game. So I got Diggs at number 2. And number 1, I'm not a huge fan of this guy too. True is um um I just like matchup, and I gotta be honest, man. The number 1 guy to start outside all the elite players is Brown. AJ Brown,
Oh,
number 1 player to start, and I'll tell you why. The Broncos, they just lost their best pass rusher, Von Miller, for the season. Bradley Chubb expect to be limited today. He's dealing with some knee injuries also. That should allow Ryan Tannehill to find AJ Brown. And a lot of people like AJ Brown this season. Um, um, he's had at least 7 targets, 3 of the last 4 games last year in the regular season, and he scored at least 22 fantasy points. And all of them, um, um, and on all of them, on all those games. So I think he's gonna have a solid sophomore year, and he's a definite start for week 1. So I got AJ Brown rounding off number 1 in my top 5 wide receivers.
okay, sounds like a plan, man. I'm not mad at that. My top 5 guys, I'm gonna give it to you after I give the elite guys. You already know Michael Thomas, you starting, DeAndre Hopkins, you starting, Julio Jones, Devontae Adams, and Adam Thielen. Those guys are no brainers. You start those guys, especially with Stephon Diggs no longer in Minnesota. You're starting Adam Thielen pretty much every week. That could change. I'm interested to see what's gonna happen, but as of now, we're starting Adam Thielen. Okay, coming in number 5, I got Calvin Ridley. You know they're going to try to stop Julio Jones. They're going to try to stop Todd Gurley. The one guy that they better not sleep on today is Calvin Ridley. This guy could be the breakout superstar of the 2020-2021 season. You're hearing it here. Calvin Ridley could have a monster year this year. He could be the Chris Godwin of this fantasy season. That's how much I like Calvin Ridley today versus Seattle. So that's what I got coming in number 5. Coming in number 4, I agree with Keo. I got DJ Chark. Not because I have him in my fantasy league, because what else are they going to do? You cut Leonard Fournette. We don't even know who the running back is going to be as far as who's going to get majority of the carry. We know we got Chris Thompson. He can catch out the backfield, but who's going to tote that rock for majority of the game? We don't know yet. And we know Garner Minshew loves DJ Chark. So I got him coming in at number 4. Coming in at number 3 is a guy that once upon a time was an elite guy. This is a tough matchup. Could this be a bounce back year for this guy? And I'm talking about Odell Beckham Jr. versus the Baltimore Ravens. Odell didn't even score 200 fantasy points last year. We consider him elite, and he didn't show that. So I don't know how this season is gonna go. I'm still optimistic that it could be great, but we'll see. But I'm going for today, OBJ to have a really good game versus the Baltimore Ravens, and I know how good that defense is. Coming in at number 2, I got Cooper Kupp. That's bad news for you, buddy, with that Cowboy stuff. I got Cooper Kupp coming in at number 2. I think Cooper Kupp, he just got his extension. Him and Jared Goff always seem to be on the same page. They added Van Jefferson. You still got Robert Woods. You got Cam Akers in the backfield. I think Cooper Kupp is that go-to guy. He is Jared Goff's security blanket.
Cooper
Um,
Cup. Cooper Cup. What? Be careful. And good luck against Trayvon Diggs.
oh
Woo.
my God. But I think Cup's gonna have a really good game. And let me just say this: start of the week alert. Oh,
Wow.
but yeah, I got him coming at number 2. Coming in at number 1 is a guy that I love. I know one other person that loves him as much as I do. Gil is not as high on him as I am. Um, and that's Seattle Seahawks wide receiver, DK Metcalf. I think Metcalf has a monster game today. I think he takes that next step, even though he's in his sophomore season, as the man when it comes to the Seattle Seahawks passing game. I know they got Tyler Lockett, that's cool, but the number 1 receiver in that team will be DK Metcalf, I believe, this upcoming season. So I got DK Metcalf coming in at number 1 in my fantasy wide receivers top 5, minus the elite guys. But Metcalf can have a better game than all the elite guys today. So just look out for that. Keel, let's get to tight ends.
Okay, number 5. Um, Obviously, you see me having Philip Rivers, Marlon Mack in there, T.Y. Hilton. So it don't stop for me. And I'm rolling
Wow.
with Jack Doyle, baby, at number 5. Mr. Rivers likes getting his tight ends involved. And I think Jack Doyle will have a decent, solid game. You see him in your waiver wire, go ahead and pick that guy up. I got him at number 5. Number 4, this guy is possibly he's in like 70% in a lot of fantasy league waiver wires. Eric Ebron at number 4. Eric Ebron, he rejuvenated his career um down in Indianapolis last season. He was solid towards in the middle of the season. And I think Big Ben is looking to go with to him, man. He likes to go to guys like Jesse James, Heath Miller, and guys like that in the past. So Eric Ebron, I like Eric Ebron this week at number 4. So uh, uh, that's number 4. Number three, I am going with the Jared Cook, New Orleans Saints tight end, Jared Cook. Cook scored a touchdown in each of his last past 2 games against Tampa Bay last year. And I think he's a major threat. He got hot towards the end of the season, got him breezed, and Peyton got him more involved and comfortable with the offense and playbook. Second season around, oh yeah, I like Cook. You got Emmanuel Sanders there to help. You know what? Uh, Michael Thomas could do. So I got him at number 3. Number 2, man. So my number 2 and 1 happens to be in the same game. So number 2, I'm going with Blake Jarwin, the tight end for my Dallas Cowboys. I think he should have a strong outing, debut, starting tight end for the Cowboys. This game should be a high scoring game, and Prescott should lean on him as one of his top targets tonight. So Blake Jarwin and the Rams allow tight ends to score each of their final 3 games. So week 15, I think Jason Witten had a touchdown. So I think I like Blake Jarwin at number 2. At number 1, a lot of people like this guy in fantasy. True doesn't, and like I said, I'm sticking to the same game, and I'm going with Tyler Higbee at number 1. The last time we saw Higbee in 2019, he closed the season with at least 18 fantasy points as far as average goes. 5 games in a row, including a 23-point game against my Dallas Cowboys in Week 15. So that's huge. So I look looking for Tyler Higbee to have a solid, huge game tonight. So as far as tight ends goes, obviously I'm not. Travis Kelsey had a huge game this past Thursday. He's already played. Guys like guys like George Kittle. Definitely, I'm not gonna mention him because you know what you're gonna get. But that rounds up my top 5 tight ends for week 1.
Definitely. Okay, so the Titans, I put in the elite guys. I'm trying to do 5 for each position. We'll see if I can, always go through that top 5 elite guys. But Kelsey, Kittle, Ertz, Andrews, and Waller, you're going to start those 5 guys, especially the tight end position. Those tight ends is so hard to come by. You want to start those guys. But coming in number 5, I got Dallas Goedert. Man, let me tell you, man. I truly believe with all the injuries at that wide receiver position, we know Alshon Jeffrey's going to be out today for the Eagles. Rieger's going to be banged up. He's going to play, but he's going to try to give it a go, but he's banged up. I just think they're going to try to run a lot of 2 tight end sets. And I think Goddard can have a really good game today, despite Ertz having a good game. This may be a situation where you can get 2 tight ends on the same team that can have big years. So I'm going with Goddard. Coming in at number 4, this is an intriguing guy. We're thinking that he could have a breakout season, and I'm going with him. Noah Fant. I think Noah Fant versus, or Fant, however you want to pronounce it, versus Tennessee is going to be a great matchup. We know Drew Lock is another guy that everybody is saying could have a breakout season and could become a fantasy stud. He does have a lot of weapons, and Fant is one of them, so I'm going to go with Noah Fant at the tight end position at number 4. Coming in number 3, I think Mike Evans being out actually helps this guy, and that's Rob Gronkowski. We know he's been elite in the past, but he's coming back now. He's older, he's not Gronk from New England, but I do think with Mike Evans being out on the goal line, Gronk one-on-one could give the New Orleans Saints some trouble today. So I got Gronk coming in number 3. Coming in number 2, I got Evan Ingram versus Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh's defense is one of the elite defenses, but don't sleep on the Giants this season. I like a lot of their players. I like their team. They're going to give the Cowboys, the Eagles, and the Redskins all they can handle that NFC East. So look out for Evan Ingram today. I think he can have a huge day. But number 1, I'm with Keo. 1,000% Jack Doyle. We know Phillip Rivers likes throwing to his running backs and his tight ends. See, with running back, we don't know if it's Marlon Mack, Jonathan Taylor, Naheem Hines, or whatnot. But we do know it's Jack Taylor now that Eric Ebron's out of there. Jack Doyle, to me, is going to have a really good game. He could end up being the steal of fantasy this season. That's how much I like Jack Doyle. Keo, let's get to the defenses on today.
So, I'll make it quick since we got a lot to cover. So, number 5, I'm going with the Titans. It's going to be interesting how much Jadeveon Clowney gets used, especially adding him on that defense. Number 4, I'm going with the LA Chargers, man. You got Bosa, you got Ingram, Casey Hayward, Chris Harris. Even though they don't have Darwin James, I think it's going to be tough for the Bengals passing game. I'm really interested to see Joe Burrow's first NFL game. Even Joe Mixon, if he's going to be limited at all. It could be a bad offensive day for the Cincinnati Bengals. So I got them at number 4. Number 3, I got the Eagles against the Washington football team, and I'll leave it at that. Number 2, I'm going with the 49ers, man, at number 2. I think the 49ers, even though the firepower that Arizona improvements they had, I'm still rolling with the Niners at home. And number 1, I've been picking Colts in every position, and I'm gonna keep going, man. The Colts defense is a great option. Indianapolis defense should be better with the addition of DeForest Buckner, Gardner Minshew. He'll be sacked at least 2-3 times in this game. So I like the Colts as my number 1 defense to start, and that rounds up my defense.
Okay, so defense is top 5 for me. The elite, let me say the elite guys. I agree with Keo, but Keo put them in this top 5, and that's okay because I didn't give him the list. Niners are an elite defense. You're going to start them. Ravens, Bills, Patriots, and Titans. I think the way that all those teams pretty much ended the season or was last season, right now we're going to mark them as elite. Now, that can change after today. Let me see them in the new season. But right now, I'll say those are the elite defenses. Coming number 5, I got the Denver Broncos. Yes, I know Von Miller's out for the year. I know Bradley Chubb is nicked up. I get it. But I like Denver, man, in this matchup versus Tennessee. Tennessee is a grinded out kind of team. I think this is going to be a low-scoring game, even though I do think Denver can put up a couple of points. I do think that Drew Lock may throw a couple of interceptions. That's going to help Tennessee as well. But I do believe this is going to be a low-scoring game. So I got Denver coming in at number 5. At number 4, come on, man. Mitchell Trubisky's the starting quarterback in Chicago. I got the Detroit Lions. Yes, I got the Detroit Lions in my top 5. I think Trubisky has to show me, man. There's a lot of pressure on him now. Nick Foles is right behind him. Nick Foles could come in and take the job. I got the Lions coming in number 4. I actually agree with Q on 3 and 2 because I'm going to the game that he brought up, and it's number 1. I got the Jacksonville Jaguars at 3 and the Colts at 2. I think this could be the lowest scoring game of the week. I do. I think that DJ Chalk may get him a touchdown. He may catch a lot of balls, but I don't think this game is going to be outside of the – if you ask me, I think neither team scores more than 24 points tonight. I think both teams are under 24, and it could be even lower than that. It could be under 20 for both of them. But I got the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Colts. But my number 1 defense is the Philadelphia Eagles. Until Washington shows me, I know we hear the hype about Antonio Gibson, who I just traded for and acquired, but I'm not starting today. For anybody out there that's wondering, should you start Antonio Gibson? I'm a little bit concerned, so I'm not starting him. Washington, for me, has to show me before I can start any of them. I'm going with the Eagles as the number 1 defense. All right, Keo, let's get to kicker.
Okay, number 5. I see the Niners giving this kicker difficulty in this game, so I'm going with Zane Gonzalez at number 5. I think the offense is good enough to give them some opportunities, but they'll kick a couple field goals. Number 4, man, Steven Gostkowski at number 4. I think he'll be huge in this game. I got him at number 4 against the Broncos. Number 3, I'm going with Jason Myers in this game. I think Russell Wilson will drive them down the field, but I think they'll struggle to score inside the red zone. So I got them at number 3. Number 2, I am going with Chris Boswell at number 2. Um, the Steelers should have a big week with their offense, and I think he's top 10 fantasy kicker heading into week 1. So I got him at number 2. At number 1, I'm going with Mike Bagley from the LA Chargers at number 1 against the Cincinnati Bengals. I could see a lot of field goal opportunities for him. I'm curious to see how Tyrod Taylor is gonna do. They got a lot of talent on that offensive side, but let's see what happens. So I got Bagley at number 1, and those are my top 5 kickers.
Okay, for kickers, I couldn't go top 5. I mean 5 as far as the elite guys. I got 3 elite guys: Harrison Butker, Jason Tucker, and Will Lutz. That's the only elite guys for me. Coming in number 5, I got Keel's guy, Greg the Leg Zerline.
Young Jeezy.
He's going up against his former team, the Rams. I think he's going to have a good game today. They're going to score some points. So I'm going with Greg Zerline at number 5.
Young Jeezy. That's what we call him.
At 4, I got Jason Myers versus Atlanta. I think that's going to be one of the highest scoring games. I think Myers is going to get some good field goals in, possibly some party yardage. I know that's 4 points in fantasy. So I'm going with him. At number 3, I'm going with Rodrigo Blankenship. Yes. If you're a Georgia fan, then you know who this is. He's going up against the Jacksonville Jaguars. I just told y'all. I think this could be a low-scoring game, a lot of field goals. So I'm going with Blankenship at number 3. At number 2, I'm going with Elliott, obviously, versus Washington. It just makes all the sense in the world. My guy's going to get a lot of field goals. I think Philly's going to score a lot of points. So I'm going with my man, Josh Elliott. I think his name's Josh. I'm tripping right now. I don't have his first name on my paper. And then lastly,
Jake Elliott.
The shootout of the day.
It's Jake Elliott.
What it is? Jake, huh?
Jake Elliott.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Okay. And then the shootout of the day, Ryan Suckup versus the New Orleans Saints. shootout. It's going to be a lot of points scored. That's where I'm going. Keo, let's get to the flex position, baby. This is a good one. Top 5 flex plays.
Top five, top five flex plays for week one. So starting at number five, I am gonna go with um I am gonna top five flex plays. I'm gonna go with Julian Edelman at number five. A lot of people don't trust
Wow,
him.
okay.
He's down on people's radar. So I got him at number five. Number four, top five flex play. I'm going with Cam Akers at number four. Cam Akers have a high ceiling this year. A lot of people are high on this guy. And I expect big things for Cam Akers this year. So I got Cam Akers definitely at number four. Top five flex play number three, man. I'm going with CD Lamb. Coming out
Oh,
party, baby. I
oh.
like me some CD Lamb at number three, top five flex play. Um, top five flex play at I'm going to a number two top five flex play. Um, Based off of if this guy is healthy or not, I am going with Deshaun Jackson at number two. Philadelphia Eagles. He was injured last season. He looked solid last season until he went out. So I like wins to Deshaun Jackson. Deshaun Jackson is still very a dangerous receiver right now. So I got him at number two, and top five flex play at number one. I am going with man. I'm actually going with Emmanuel Sanders at number one. Top
Good
five
one.
flex play. He could
That's
possibly be a wide receiver too, but in I know people that are in a lot of 12-team fantasy leagues. They don't have Emmanuel Sanders at number two, but if you do, I would move him to flex also. So even in the deeper leagues also. So I think Emmanuel Sanders is a top five flex play, and that rounds up my top five.
okay. Okay. Coming in number 5, I have a rookie. I don't like to put rookies in my top fives, especially in their first game. But with Cortland Sutton being out, I'm going with Keo's guy, Jerry Judy, at number 5 in the flex play. I think he's an outstanding flex today. Even though this will be a defensive struggle, Judy can catch 5 balls today, anywhere between 75 to 100 yards. I like Jerry Judy a lot in the flex. I think he could have a good game. The guy that I think at number 4, everybody's sleeping on, who could end up being a really good fantasy player, is Sony Michel. I liked him last year. I think with Cam, I think it actually makes him better. He's gonna get a lot of touches running the football. I'm going with Sony Michel this week at number 4 flex play. At number 3, I got Christian Kirk. Yes, Christian Kirk at the flex. I think this is a great flex play. You got DeAndre Hopkins, you got Larry Fitzgerald, you got Kenyon Drake, you got Kyler Murray. I think everybody's going to be worried about everybody else besides that speedster on the outside, Christian Kirk. I can make a case as the fastest one out of all those receivers and running backs. Christian Kirk can burn them, and I think he can get over the top, especially if he's going up against Richard Sherman one-on-one. That's no disrespect to Richard Sherman. Still a good cornerback, but the speed difference will be a major factor in that position. So I'm going with Christian Kirk at number 3. Coming at number 2, I got Devin Singletary. I think Devin Singletary is a great flex play. I have to play him at my running back number 2 because Miles Sanders is out. But I'm pretty confident because of the matchup. He gets the Jets. I do like Singletary versus the Jets. So we'll see what happens. But that's who I got coming in number 2. Coming in at number 1 at my flex play is a guy who I had in my flex, but I ended up trading because I wanted to upgrade my wide receiver position, and I'm talking about Marlon Mack. I think Marlon Mack, people are scared because of Jonathan Taylor. They're scared because of Naheem Hines. So you don't want to put him in a running back 2 position today, but at a flex, that's a really good position to play him at. So I got Marlon Mack coming in number 1. Keo, let's go waiver wire pickups. Top 5 waiver wire pickups right now that you can go get out the waiver wires right now is going to turn out to be a good pickup before the year starts.
Top five waiver wire pickups. Um, A waiver wire pickup that people should go after. I'm gonna say man, I'm gonna say Jerick McKinnon, a top 5 waiver wire pickup at number
That's a good
5.
one.
Um he's been injured and banged up a lot, but I think he's a major pickup for a top 5 waiver wire pickup. That coming at number 4, a top 5 waiver pickup. A lot of people has written this team off as far as defense goes. So I'm going with the New England Patriots as a top 5 waiver wire pickup at number 4. Um number 3, um a top 5 waiver wire pickup right now. I'm gonna say Jimmy Graham from the Chicago Bears.
Wow.
Yeah, man. If because I look at this game, I look at this game. You got Jeff Okuda. He's gonna be all over Allen Robinson, and they need somebody to throw it to. And I think Jimmy Graham, he still has it. He still has something left in the tank. So I got him at number 3. Number 2, I'm gonna go with number 2. I'm gonna go with Brian Edwards at number 2, the Las Vegas Raiders. I think he's a huge waiver wire pickup at number 2. And coming at number 1, I think he is a guy that people should look into. And the top guy that I'm gonna say is, you mentioned his name earlier, so I'm gonna say Van Jefferson, a top 5 waiver wire pickup. You look at Cooks is gone. Robert Woods is looking to be that guy. Cooper Cup, he just got a contract. They need that slot receiver. Goff likes some slot receivers, so Van Jefferson, I think he should be a major pickup also. So those are my top 5 waiver wire pickups.
That was 5 phenomenal pickups. I can honestly say that. Jeremy Graham is one I'm kind of concerned about. I don't know if I'd pick him up, but I think all those other guys I really like a lot. Okay, my top 5 waiver wire pickups. Let me give y'all one outside of my top 5 for just this week, and that's Bart Scott. Not Bart Scott, Boston Scott. That's like what I'm saying. Boston Scott for this week. I think it's a good pickup because Miles Sanders is out, but I don't want to include him into my top 5 because I have a great top 5, I believe, that you can go pick up, and you might have them for the remainder of the season because of how good these picks are. Okay, coming in at number 5, I got Scotty Miller. One of our friends, Antonio, he said in our group, I don't know if Keel's in the group, Keel be tripping, man. But Scotty Miller could be a good pickup this year. We know Tom Brady likes to throw to his slot receivers. Scotty Miller's going to be playing the slot for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think Scotty Miller could be a really good pickup in fantasy this season. Coming in number 4, I got Tyler Eifert. Eifert was a great player one time for the Cincinnati Bengals. He had one really good season. And then after that, he got hurt. He was banged up. And we pretty much forgot about him. Now he's going to Jacksonville. You got DJ Chark. You got Conley. You need somebody in that tight end position that Gardner Minshew can trust. I think Tyler Eifert could have a good season. Not saying he will, but he's a good guy to pick up, stash him away, and let's see what happens this season. Coming in number 3, I got Hunter Renfrow. This guy right here, I think people are just forgetting about him. Hunter Renfrow could be a guy that you play in your flex week in and week out. I think it's going to turn out to be a great pickup. Coming in number 2, I got Jack Doyle. Like Keo said earlier in the Titans things, I don't even see why Jack Doyle's not owned in way more leagues. Jack Doyle should be on somebody's roster. If he's not your starter, fine. But if he's not your starter, he should definitely be on your bench. If you're in a 10-man league, Jack Doyle should be on everybody's roster. So he comes in number 2. My number 1 waiver wire pickup, Keo. I've been telling Keo about this for some time. I picked him up. And I'm trying to tell y'all, he's my sleeper of the year. Kendrick Bourne from the San Francisco 49ers. Remember I said it today on this show. Kendrick Bourne is somebody that you should pick up. Deebo Samuel's on IR, so he cannot play for quite some time. Yeah, I think he come back after week 3. But that's 3 weeks that you have with Brandon Ayuk banged up. Kendrick Bourne will be the starting wide receiver for the 49ers. I think he ended the season pretty well. He scored against my New Orleans Saints. I know that in that shootout, and he played pretty well. And it seems like if Garoppolo wasn't going to Kittle on third downs, he was going to Kendrick Bourne. I like me some Kendrick Bourne. I actually follow him on IG. I see his workouts. Shout out to Kendrick Bourne, man. But I'm going with Kendrick Bourne as my number 1 waiver wire pickup this season. All right, Keo, are you ready for the Startem Sitem portion of the show?
Let's go.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Coming in first, would you start or sit Ryan Tannehill versus the Denver Broncos today?
I'm gonna start him, man. Like I said earlier, with Bradley Chubb banged up, you got Von Miller out for the season. You lost Chris Harris in the secondary. Hell yeah, I'm gonna take him, man. AJ Brown, man, he's gonna have a solid game. So I'm definitely starting him.
Okay. Would you start or sit Jonathan Taylor?
I am going to start him. I think
Wow, okay.
I think they'll split carries and they'll try to get Taylor involved. So I if you have him in the flex position, I'm gonna start Jonathan Taylor.
Okay. Would you start or sit Jalen Reagor?
Um, I'm sitting him. I just think that Wentz is gonna look for guys like the Sean Jackson, guys like that he knows that's reliable, that he can trust. I think he has to build that chemistry with Rieger, like Deshaun Jackson, Zach Ertz, go there. I Alshon Jeffrey's out. I think he's out.
He's out.
So yeah, so I would definitely sit Jalen Rager.
Okay. Would you start or sit Tyler Eifert? I just mentioned him.
I am going to sit Tyler Eifert, man. Tyler Eifert, I haven't seen much from him since for quite a long time, man. So I'm definitely gonna sit Tyler Eifert.
Okay, my last one. Are you starting or sitting Michael Pittman Jr.? Oh,
I am starting Michael Pittman Jr. I think
what?
that's the receiver that's gonna step up and help T.Y. Hilton. So I'm definitely starting him.
Okay, cool. Your turn.
All right. The guy that I have is I'm gonna start off with the tight end position. Austin Hooper. Would you start or sit him?
I would start him. Tight ends, yeah, I would definitely start him. If I'm in a 10-man league, 16-man like we are, I'm starting Austin Hooper.
Now I seen you been disrespectful to this guy, and I haven't addressed that to you as of late. But I see what you've been saying. So would you start or sit Amari Cooper?
Oh man, I would start him, but I wouldn't be. I would trade him. Let's talk about that. I would trade Amari Cooper. I wouldn't even want him on my team. I'm not a fan of Amari Cooper, man. Since last year, right, for a chance to go to the playoffs, him on the sidelines, I have a huge issue with that. Not don't know him personally, Shout out to him. He might be a great guy off the field, but what I saw on the field last year just really rubbed me the wrong way. So I would start him, but I wouldn't love it. I would actually trade him.
Okay. All right. All right. My next guy that I got up, another guy that you're not really high on, and I am going with AJ Green.
Ooh, that's a tough one. I would start him. Man, I don't even know if I would start him. That's a great question. I would start him in my flex. I would just hope that I hit because of Joe Burrow, but I would be scared to death. It would be a boom or bust thing week 1. If I take an L this week, I can still shake back, but I would start him, but it would only be as a flex.
All right. All right. All right. Next one up. Would you start or sit Kareem Hunt?
Um, as a flex, I would start him. As a flex, I would start him. He's worth the started flex.
Um, according, I just wanted to say this. According to some people, on the YouTube comments, they actually like AJ Green today. So,
They can have it.
all right, all right. Okay, my very okay. So I got two more left or one left.
I think you have one more, but you can say two. Go ahead. Ask your question.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna go to a running back. The running back that I have is let's did I say Kareem Hunt? I'm gonna go to
Yeah, you said Kareem Hunt. I got Kareem Hunt starting. Yeah, as a
okay.
flex.
Okay, all right. My very last one. It is gonna be a quarterback, and it is gonna be Daniel Jones. Start or
Oh, I'm
sit?
starting him. I'm starting him. I love me some Giants this season. I think people are sleeping the Giants, man. Sterling Shepard, Slayton, Saquon. I like Ingram. I like the whole team. I like me some
Oh,
Giants. Yeah, I'm starting Danny Dimes. I know you don't like when I say that, neither.
First of all, his name is not Danny Dimes. He hasn't done anything to be called that nickname. It's Daniel Jones. Until he wins some games, then he'll get that Danny Dimes nickname that people love to talk about.
Definitely, definitely.
All right. It's your turn.
Oh, I already went. So
Okay.
okay, real quick, I'm gonna ask some questions. If YouTube has any questions, man, y'all go ahead and hit us up. Let us know. We'll answer a couple of questions. I'll go to Twitter because I have a few of them on Twitter right now. Let me go to Twitter and I'll get the questions. I'm gonna pull it up because I was on YouTube. Let me pull this up real quick. All right, we're gonna answer a few of you guys' questions, and then we'll get to our studs of the week and stuff like that. All right, let's see. Here we go, Keo. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Who would you start out of Cam Akers, Leonard Fournette, or J.K. Dobbins? Shout out to Curtis for this question.
I'm going with Leonard Fournette in this one, man. I think this is Leonard Fournette's coming out party, and I expect them to have a huge game against the New Orleans Saints. So I'm going with Leonard Fournette all over all those guys.
All right, Curtis, I'm going with Cam Akers. I'm a little concerned about Dobbins and Fournette, so I'm going Cam Akers on that question. Okay, Keo, flex position. You're starting Mark Ingram or Tyler Boyd?
Mm, I'm gonna go with Tyler Boyd.
Wow. Okay.
If you want to talk about PPR, I think Mark Ingram is gonna split carries today with J.K. Dobbins. So I'm going with Tyler Boyd.
Okay. I'm going Mark Ingram easily for me. That's not even a question. I think Mark Ingram, who has a better chance of scoring for me, and that's Ingram. Okay, Keo. Billy, man, shout out to you, man. I don't know, boss. I don't agree with this question, but I'll let Keo answer it anyway. Who would you start? Cam Newton or Drew Brees? I think we got.
I'm
Okay,
going
go
with
ahead, Keo.
I'm going with
Who you
Drew
said?
Brees, man.
Yeah,
Drew
okay, I thought
Brees.
so.
I'm going with Drew Brees. High score. This is gonna be a high scoring game, man. Brees, he always gives you consistent numbers, so I definitely gotta get me some Drew Brees going on right now.
Okay, I 100% agree with that. Drew Brees, easily. Okay, last question, man. Who you starting? Robert Woods or Jarvis Landry? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. And
I'm
wide
going with
receiver
Jarvis.
too.
I'm going with Jarvis Landry in this one. I think the Browns, I call him Money Mayfield. Um, As far as Baker Mayfield goes, I think they're gonna have a huge game against the Ravens. And I think Jarvis Landry is gonna give you some good numbers. That whole Browns offense, they're gonna be huge also. So Jarvis Landry over Robert Woods.
Wow, okay. Man, this is a tough one. Ooh, either one, you're gonna be a good start for me today. I like Robert Woods. I like Jarvis Landry, but I'm gonna go Jarvis Landry as well. This is the first time I think me and Keo agree outside of the Drew Brees one, so I'm gonna go Jarvis Landry. Okay, this is my favorite segment. A lot of people's favorite segment. Keo, who is your sleeper of the week today?
Wow. Okay, my sleeper of the week today. I am gonna
And give me
be
their stat
going.
line. Give me your stat line on them.
Okay, my sleeper of the week today. I am rolling with um man the sleeper of the week. I am gonna say um I'm gonna say Calvin Ridley is my sleeper of the week.
That's a great one. He could actually be
Calvin
in the league.
Ridley, I don't think he's gonna go. I don't think he's gonna hit the 100-yard mark. I think he's gonna get close to it, but I think he'll have at least 2 touchdowns and he'll get to at least the 8 receptions. So I think that's our sleeper type of numbers. So that's sleeper of the week for me.
Okay, my sleeper of the week was my pickup of the week, waiver wire pickup, Kendrick Bourne. Listen to me again, Kendrick Bourne. He will get at least 15 fantasy points today. Kendrick Bourne is my sleeper of the week. I think he can score 2 touchdowns. I think he can get 1 touchdown and over 100 yards. I like Kendrick Bourne a lot today, so I'm going with Kendrick Bourne as my sleeper of the week. Keo, who is your
You
bust of
had
the
the
week?
49ers as a sleeper of the week.
You see that, huh? You see that, huh?
Oh man, I'm
Shout out to the Bay
embarrassed.
Area, man. They show me so much love out there. Shout out to Jerry Rice, man, the GOAT. What's up? You know the vibes.
Oh, okay, all right. No, I'm laughing because as soon as you said that, my sister started texting me about the 49ers. But shout out to my sister though. So the next what was it? What were you saying again?
The bust of the week. Who's the
Oh,
bust?
the
Who's the
bust,
person that everybody's high on that's not gonna have a good game at all?
the bust of the week will be, man, the bust of the week. I'm gonna say it's gonna be Jared Goff as the bust of the week.
Wow.
People think I'm probably biased because they're playing against my Dallas Cowboys, but I got Goff as bust of the week. I think this dude, he's gonna struggle throwing the ball. Dallas defense has improved in their front seven. They got it help in the secondary position. So I think Jared Goff is the bust of the week.
Okay. My bust of the week would not have 6 fantasy points today. 6. I could even go lower than that. Jonathan Taylor. I am not sold at all. I think it's the Marlon Mack show. I'm gonna give him 6 because he might get a late touchdown, and it will be like a goal line carry, but not sold on Jonathan Taylor at all. I can see a scenario where he gets 0 fantasy points today. So I got Jonathan Taylor as the biggest bust of the week, clearly. And people are starting him in the running back 2 position. That's gonna be detrimental to their team today.
True. 1 second. I know we passed this segment, but one person do have a question. It was about it they had 3 players, and it's by HNIHICH on YouTube, and they ask who should they start between Deontay Johnson, Antonio Gibson, and Jalen Rager.
Ooh, that's tough. That's tough. I'm gonna go. Shoot, that's a tough one right there. I'm gonna say Antonio Gibson because he has the most upside. he could be the starting running back over there. So I'm gonna go Gibson. I don't like none of them. Like talk about Johnson. I don't know if he has the rapport with Big Ben yet, and Rieger. We don't know how healthy he is. So I'm gonna go Gibson.
I'm going with Deontay Johnson, man. I think that
Okay.
with Ben back, the Steelers offense is going to be huge. The passing game is going to be huge. Defense that they're going with, it's going to be a great setup for them with their season opener. So I'm going to say Deontay Johnson, man. If you're in a PPR type of league, oh yeah, Deontay Johnson, man. Because I don't know what to expect from Gibson. He's not even named the starter. So hope maybe they'll get him involved later in the game. So I'm going with Deontay Johnson. But
Okay.
let's move on to we got our stud of the week.
Yes, sir. Last
All
thing
right.
before we wrap it up.
All right. So my stud of the week, man, I am going with the stud of the week will be
Okay, now remember, for everybody out there, once we say a stud, he can never be our stud of the week for the next 16 weeks. It has to be that you name him one time. You can't repeat stud of the week. So this is a one-time deal.
oh man, my stud of the week. It is gonna be I'm going with Aaron Rodgers as the stud of the week.
Wow.
So, a lot of people, you've been writing Aaron Rodgers off. They don't like this Packers team. A lot of people think the Packers going to lose today. But I do have Aaron Rodgers as my stud of the week. I got him throwing for at least over, over close to 350, 3 touchdowns. I think he's going to have a very great performance to open up the season. I got Aaron Rodgers as my stud of the week.
Okay. All right. So my stud of the week is real simple. This guy, I think, is gonna be a breakout superstar. This is where he makes his mark week 1. I got DK Metcalf. I think if you could, I've been trying to get this dude from my brother for a while now. We saw AJ Terrell in the national championship game. Jamar Chase is not even in the NFL. And Jamar Chase had a field day with AJ Terrell. Well, guess who AJ Terrell has to see this week? DK Metcalf. It's all bad for him. I mean, the physicality. I think DK Metcalf, I'm going to be honest with y'all. This is how much I like DK Metcalf. And people may say, X, you wildin'. I'm not saying I would take the trade head up because I wouldn't, because I can get more value. But I would give up Amari Cooper easily for DK Metcalf. And I would do that actually head up. But if I had DeAndre Hopkins and somebody offered me DK Metcalf, I would want to accept the trade head up. But the only reason why I would not is because I would know my value with DeAndre Hopkins. I would tell him, give me DK Metcalf, and it can literally be anybody on the side, anybody that I think is okay, and I'm taking the trade. So DK Metcalf is my stud of the week this week. He will have over 20 fantasy points today versus the Atlanta Falcons.
All right.
Like Keel like, hell nah, you tripping.
I'm speechless. I didn't you normally don't pick receivers. We've been doing this for the past 3-4 years, and the season opener, you normally say the quarterback. So this is
I
a
was gonna say
surprise.
Tom Brady, to be honest with you, but I think I can pick Brady for a later game. But DK Metcalf, I'm going with him week 1.
Okay.
So, and what I'm gonna try to do is from now on, we'll try to get Keo to make some flyers for our studs of the week so we can actually have them for each week so we can actually go back and look at it.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
So yeah, Keo, that's my stud of the week. And last minute shout outs, man.
Shout out to everybody, man. This has been a very anticipating football season, one of the most anticipating football seasons as long as we've been following football. And I'm excited for the football season. I'm excited for fantasy football, man. We weren't even sure if we were going to have a fantasy leagues. I'm glad that we have fantasy football. It's great with it when you're watching football also. And the best of luck to everybody in fantasy football to start off week 1. And hopefully we help you guys out. And shout out to everybody that tuned in, supports the show. And make sure you go subscribe to us on the YouTube channel. We are on YouTube now as far as the Startem Sitem show. And shout out to Homie X, always holding it down, man. But besides that, we'll see you guys later this week on MBS Let's Talk About It.
Yes, sir. Like you said, man, please subscribe, hit that notification bell, man. We're going to keep putting out quality content for you guys. And trust me, right now, we're just starting out. It's going to get better each show. It's going to get better each and every show. So make sure you tune in. If you have questions, we may bring people on live with us to even ask questions. You never know. So just stay looking out for us, man. Like I said, subscribe and hit that notification bell. Shout out to Keo, man. Definitely appreciate him for all he does for the brand. Y'all don't understand. Words can't even begin to explain what he does for this brand, man. We appreciate it. But with that being said, good luck today. If you lose, you have nobody but to blame but yourself. But if you win, like Drake says, man, thank us later. This has been Startem Sitem Fantasy Football Show. We out. Peace.